Hey guys, we have a next guest, next speaker, somebody that is super well known in the community. It's Augustas. Yeah,
Knock,
he's
knock, knock.
knocking. Hello, Augustas. How are you, man?
Hello. All good, thank you. All orange, and you? Which color?
I'm like black, like Tracia, and a bit of gray. But like I have like really like big bright lights.
Come
So
on, you're not black. Don't worry, you're not black. All right, what happens?
yeah, at this point, like I don't know if you're aware of it, like what's going on. We have a live stream from our offices, and like as you can see, people are like separated, like there's like 2 meters different like between them, and like everything corona wise, everybody has masks. So we're like doing everything as like it should be done and so on. And yeah, so we were sitting the other day like on Wednesday, and we were thinking like what should we do for the Prime Day. And like this is like the story that I'm mentioning like for the fifth time, so like guys that are watching, please guys don't kill me. And like everybody was like maybe we should do live stream, and like sure. And like in a manner like our clients will know that we work like non-stop on their accounts. So we split into shifts. Oh wait, I'm Jana from Wildly Translation. What a change. Give me just a second. I'm Ozar.
So I was watching actually your stream at night when nobody was there on the stream, but your people were still working 3 a.m. Well, okay, I was also still awake. But
Yeah.
so is it always that it's 24 hours in the office, or it's just now?
No. It's just for the Prime Day. We're just doing stupid stuff during Prime Day. Like on like other days, we work normally 8 hours, and after that we leave the office. Like we don't really leave the office like on Fridays, especially because we have like food Fridays and like mojito Fridays from time to time and that kind of stuff. So it's like really hard to tell people to get out. Like even though we try really hard to move them away from the office, but yeah, it happens. But at this point, like we wanted to work for 48 hours, and we called a lot of people, like friends from the community and everybody, and all of a sudden, like at the end of the list, we saw you. So like we wanted to reach out to you as well. I'm just kidding. Like for those that don't know, Augustus is such a funny guy and such an awesome person, like full of energy. And like you literally, like when you see him, you want to be like really close to Augustus, like not like to rub his like shoulder or something like that, but like you want to be in the same room because the positivity that he spreads around him. So Augustus, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. We just did, 2 weeks ago, did a virtual summit, and we are so much missing live events. This is what I was passionate. Like 2 years ago, I started with live events and for Amazon sellers, and now we did virtual summit. It's not the same. It's
yeah, it's terrible. Like I had Shane today, and I had Brent today, and a bunch of other people that usually come to your events. So like can you please like call us to some event, whichever we want to like have fun together or whatever? Like do you think like when is going to be the next time when you're going to be able to
we
hold a normal event?
we are almost signing the contract with Prague, the same location. So we will do for the third time European Seller Conference in Prague in March 18th, 19th. So if there will be possibility to travel for international people especially from US, Prosper Show, I think, is March 1st, 3rd. And then will be White Label Expo in Las Vegas, probably 1 week after Prosper. And then 1 week after the expo will be Prague's conference. We do hope to get at least 100 people this time. In normal circumstances, the third year, maybe we would expect already 300 people, but we will see what's happening. We just got news from Czech Republic, from our venue, that now they are going into like very hard lockdown. Schools are closed, restaurants are closed, only takeaways. So Czech Republic is going crazy, but I do hope that in 5 months it will change.
You're currently in Spain?
Yeah, at the moment I'm sitting in Spain.
Oh, nice. So, like, I remember, like, for your last event, like that we went to, like, I ended up, and Jan and me both ended up being quarantined for like 28 hours, 28 days. Like, I hope it was 28 hours, but it was 28 days, and like, but it was so much fun, and like. We stayed until like the last plane leaving Czech Republic, and everything was closed, and we just stayed there. And I was like even thinking about maybe renting a place there, but like because of the situation and like everything, like you don't know like in which direction everything is gonna go.
So maybe those who don't know, we can mention that European Seller Conference in Prague was March 13, 14, I think. So during the time, already a few days before the conference, we got news that only 100 people can participate in Prague in the events, and we expected over 200. At the end, we had a little bit over 100, so we managed to keep in the room always less than 100, because anyway, some people are outside or not coming to the venue all the time. And then the second day, we had the challenge because in the middle of first day, we got news from government that only 30 people can be in an event, but we interpreted it in a room. So we managed to run all the presentations of 2 days until 11 p.m., I think. And then next day, we just did kind of 30 people groups networking and masterminding. So it was interesting.
It was so crazy. Like, you did such an awesome thing there, because like seeing how much effort and energy you gave there, especially because like rules changed every second hour basically. Like you would get into an elevator of hotel, and like you would see a new sign telling you like what's the next thing that you're not allowed to do. And I was like, damn. And like as you said, like it was like 100 people in a room, and then like we spread to different rooms, and like we were sitting outside, and the workshop was canceled and everything, and it was like, damn. But apart from that, like we still had fun, to be honest. Like
and I never heard from anyone that they got sick with COVID. I don't know, or maybe some people didn't want to tell loudly, but I never heard any.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them like coughing like crazy, but like I don't want to share that.
But doesn't mean that it was like that thing. So
I don't know. Like today, whoever coughs or like sneezes, it's probably corona. It's nothing else. Like there's no chance that you caught a cold or like have like regular flu. Like there is only one thing that you can get today. It's like corona, and that's it. So I have a question for you. Like, what are the things that we can expect from Orange Klik in the near future?
Well, we're always concentrating also on YouTube channel, and we post still about at least two videos a week. And our aim also in live events and in YouTube channel is to bring some new names, to dig some new talents people never have heard about, and we just take a risk and interview those people. And this is what we did in the last virtual summit we had a lot of names people don't know. So we always kind of try to find new talents a lot, especially focus on European market, because in United States or North America, it's easy to find people, but I want to also to dig some European specialists. In terms of events, so we are planning Prague event, and if things get relaxed and good, then we want to do, of course, PPC Congress for Amazon PPC advertising specialists. We did one year ago in September in Amsterdam.
It was so good. It was like the best event ever. I liked it so much.
Cool. And my dream is to make PPC Congress in North America and Europe. So let's say Europe could still be in Amsterdam, but North America would be in Mexico, probably in Cancun. And but we don't know when we can do this kind of things. And other kind of events we did Last year were Seller Fest. We did only 2 Seller Fest live, and I would love to do more next year if we can, like again in Israel, again in my home country Lithuania, and in few more countries. Like Romania has a lot of big community, and few other countries.
Yeah, Romania has a huge community, as a matter of fact. Like,
Yeah.
I know at least like 15 sellers from Romania, easily. Like, wherever you go, there is always like at least one Romanian. Like, Marcel was talking today about his services and everything, and like he's just one of many guys from Romania.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, actually, Marcel was one of those, I think, speakers which we, because when we did a Prague conference in mid of March, few weeks before the conference, a lot of speakers started to drop off, especially from North America, because they didn't want to take a risk to travel to Europe. And we got few places, free places, kind of free slots for the speakers. And Marcel was the one whom it was funny, I saw, we usually ask potential speakers to submit applications, and I liked Marcel's application, what he wanted to share with the audience. But I was not sure. I saw a guy from Romania, and Romanian guys can speak very bad English, and it's not good for the stage. So I literally went to their website. I didn't get to contact fast. I went to his company's Facebook Messenger, and I said, like, I'm looking for Marcel. And then he responded very quickly, and I said, do you have a phone number? And he gave me, and like I called within like 30 minutes. I didn't say why, but I called to listen to his English, which was good. And then I offered him to speak in our event. And I think he brings good value to the community. I like it.
Awesome. Like, are you planning to have Alex Chernenko in the future? Like, he's such a great host of your events.
Yeah, he's good, great host. I didn't think about moderators at the moment, because for us, first the speakers and everything is set up. Moderators kind of the last thing to think about. But we'll see. Maybe we'll talk to him again. We'll see.
Yeah, I understand. I never liked him as well. Just was like teasing you to see like what's your answer to me. Don't get me wrong. I really like Alex. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Alex Chernenko. Those who don't know, he was moderating, I think, 3 times Orange Klik events, and I think he's also an Amazon seller, and he has some services for Amazon
translation services.
Translation, I think, also creating a company in Europe
and something like that.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of stuff. So yeah, obviously, like, you're the only person that I'm not going to ask anything regarding advertising on Amazon or like
advertising not. But actually, yesterday on our YouTube channel with my co-host Lisette, actually those who visited Orange Klik's channel a long time ago, we have for the last half a year Lisette from Estonia. She's hosting some of our videos, and yesterday we did a webinar about customer relationship with Amazon customers. So she gave some tips how sellers could improve this connection with a customer, and then we chatted a lot about me giving some advices also for sellers, because in my history I ordered like 400 products from Amazon. And biggest amount was, or maybe half of it was like 3-4 years ago, when review game was still allowed. And at that time I was kind of a reviewer of Amazon products. I think I started like 5 years ago, before I even started any kind of events for Amazon sellers. And
you just basically wanted free products.
Yes, I saw opportunity, where kind of on Facebook, sellers were offering junk from China. And I got in those maybe 2 years, maybe it was 2015, 16, 17, I probably ordered for free like 250 or 300 products, and I wrote over 250 reviews at the time. So it was my kind of hobby to get this junk, and it was very easy when you get the same kind of product. So you just take new pictures, but reuse the same review which you used in the past for the similar product. Because I got like, I still have like, this kind of flashlights. I had like 4 or 5. Now I have just 1 left, but this is also like 4 years old. I reviewed for some company, and I still use some of the products, but 90% I had to literally put on the street in the box because it's not sellable on eBay. If it costs $20, 20 euros, you cannot resell on eBay for €6, or 10 euros. It will take too much time.
Yeah, so basically when Amazon changes algorithm or terms of service, it hits like buyers as well, professional reviewers, that kind of people.
I still get a lot of emails from some, probably my email is in Chinese databases, so I get maybe up to 5 emails per week. But very often it's the same kind of products, the same kind of LED lamps or something for bicycles or for garden, up to 20 euros worth. So, but yeah, I tried to remember what I was offering, what tips I was giving to sellers yesterday. For example, here in Spain, I ordered a lot of Amazon Prime, and at the beginning, I tried to write reviews in English. But it was not like these kind of paid reviews or something. I just wanted, sometimes I had a good mood and I opened Amazon page and wrote like 10, 15 reviews. And one night I wrote maybe 6 reviews in English. And after a few days, usually it's also good to know for Amazon sellers that review approval takes time. So maybe you need to wait 2 days. So it's not instant. And then you even forgot that you posted a review, and then you get an email from Amazon accepting or rejecting the review. And my reviews, like first times when I kind of ordered on Amazon in Spain and I wrote reviews in English, they were rejected. And I think Amazon specified that it should be in Spanish. So this is like a big learning that reviews cannot be in English. So if you have a direct contact with the English-speaking customers who don't understand Spanish and they can write reviews, better ask them to I use DeepL. There is a German company, not a Google Translate, but another website called Deep and L at the end, DeepL. And it's supposed to be much better translation tool than Google's. So I use this to post if I feel like. So
yeah, basically you're not using Yana's services. I understand. That's okay. That's okay. So I'm just kidding all the time.
So talking about using services for translating reviews, I did this 4 years ago. At that time, I lived in Germany, and my system was like this. I get a product, and at that time, I was getting products with a coupon code or sent directly to my home, and then I write in English a bunch of, let's say, 10 reviews. I send to a freelancer on Fiverr, some Bulgarian guy who is multilingual because he lived in Luxembourg. I pay him to translate and into German, and then I post it in Amazon Germany. So I was investing money actually, but out of like
product.
To get a product. Yeah, it was like fun for me. And at some point I said to myself, for every product I make a video, but this video was without talking. It was just kind of unboxing with a camera, and I enjoyed it. So it costed me maybe 1 hour or more for each product, but I enjoyed. But actually it was not, there was no loss, because few times I got really expensive products like a fitness trainer at home, which maybe was sold like for 350, and later we just sold it for maybe 200 or plus euros. And then we got a children bike, which we later sold for 100 euros. So it was like a business. So I got some kind of professional disco lamp for, really good.
Because you needed that one, I understand.
I don't know. It was
for kitchen, I don't know, for the toilet.
Yeah. But also I sold it like, maybe original price 100, sold for 60. So it was profitable business to review products at that time. Now it's much more difficult because it's not recorded probably, but I still get if I see that is something useful for my home from some Chinese seller, I say yes. And the deal is that you have to first buy with your own money and then review it and then send them the review link, and then they pay you money back via PayPal.
Like rebate.
Yeah. So it's of course gray area what they're doing, but
yeah, like if you ask me like if it's legal, I cannot really say if it's legal. Like I always wondered who is like leaving reviews. Like I understand like who leaves like 1-star review. I use like the like food delivery service, and I often like leave 1-star review when they're like 30 plus minutes when I'm super hungry, basically hangry. So at that point, I would leave like negative review. But like, I don't feel like that I would like be like, oh, I really like this cup that I bought. Maybe I should go to Amazon and like leave 5-star review. Like, how many people do that? Like, apart from people that are making money like you, there, it's like I watched like a guy on some comedy show, and he was like, who the hell leaves like 5-star review for McDonald's? It's not like that. Like your friend told you, like we should go to McDonald's and like, oh, let me check the review first, like to see if they're good or not.
Okay, so let's talk how as a seller you could get these positive reviews from buyers. Actually, we also talked a little bit yesterday in the webinar. So the keyword is to over deliver. Maybe it's very difficult because you don't have direct email address and so on, but very often it's easy to over deliver when the people contact you with some maybe questions or they are not happy. So it's like my co-host yesterday, she explains that if people are not happy with your product and there is still possibility to fix it by sending a new copy without asking for sending the old one back or without offering a refund. Well, if you offer a refund and send a new one, it's like over delivering. But I would always like send at least a second copy. And if they complain, then I would refund. But for example, it happened to me in the last few months that some products, of course, it was sold by a Chinese. So they went, I feel like very often I get products from Chinese sellers because very often I also check who is the seller. And it seems that they are like, just the spec and send to warehouse and that's it. But that's why sometimes maybe there is some issue with, I don't know, like sometimes technical issue. And I ask them, they usually try to ask me additional questions, and we end up that they send me a additional copy, which works for me. So in that case, when I get a second copy, I feel like, oh, wow, this seller is really taking care of me and they are investing time and money kind of to fix it. And then I feel more encouraged to maybe leave a positive review. Maybe I'm also like, I know how sellers work and how difficult for them it is. Maybe it's also part of this, why I leave review when I get a second product for free.
Yeah, you kind of met a couple of them in your life, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I still think like if it's somehow, like I heard some tips, I think some even experts in the industry, they propose, if people buy one thing, like add in the box something maybe worth a few dollars, but it's additional gift for a buyer, and it's kind of wow effect. And actually today it's also maybe good when you think about packaging. Most of the things it comes maybe in this kind of box. I just came today, it was like some kind of tripod, but this box I will throw, and I will it will not give me an impact, the packaging, just maybe the product if I like it. But today with my wife, we were looking for some glasses for when you work with computer, ultraviolet glasses. And there were glasses between, let's say, 12 euros and 20 euros. And in the pictures, they are just either just pure glasses or put on this kind of boring, paper box on the packaging. But there was one company, which was, I checked, it's a French seller. Obviously, Europeans know how to appeal Europeans. They were selling maybe twice more, I think 30 euros for the glasses. But the pictures were really nice, and like you want to buy it. At the end, I bought for 30 euros just because also in their picture, they put glasses not on the paper packaging, but on, sometimes, let's say, something like that. It was in the picture. So it feels solid packaging. I see already that I will have a box where I can protect the glasses. And yeah, we just paid this 10 or 15 euros more just because I trusted. And of course, I know the system. So I saw it's a French seller. So I feel like, okay, maybe I will support French seller, which put effort. But really, from the pictures, like when you look, if you go to Amazon and you look for UV glasses for laptop or for screen or desktop, like most of them like very, very boring pictures. But if you would introduce solid packaging, which costs maybe for you $2, but you will make a picture, picture really looks much better than on some kind of paper box. So it's I maybe in the past I didn't think that packaging is important, but now I'm thinking that in the picture when I saw that packaging, it really like appealed me. So it's also another tip, think of the packaging even it's not usually participating. For example, I bought that stativ, what I mentioned, and it inside came with this kind of bag. It's very usual. It's kind of artificial leather, but it's not very useful because stativ, I don't know, it's too many actionable steps to put stativ into this and to squeeze and then to open again. I don't need it, so I don't know. It's not very useful, this, but maybe some kind of other packaging could be like a proper box which I can use for other things. So yeah, stativ, tripod in English. Stativ is in German probably. So, but
I think so. Yeah, in Serbian we call it stativ, so it's probably. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't expect that you're going to share some knowledge about like reviews and packaging and so on. I thought that you're going to tell us like what's the struggle with events. Yeah, like everybody's craving about them. Like that's probably the first thing that we're going to attend and like that we're going to do when all this thing like ends. Like everybody like really want to attend your events, especially yours. Like other guys, don't get me wrong, like you're all really great, but Augustas is always making such like fun community. Like it's so fun to be part of it.
But you don't have really many options, right? Like nobody else.
We do have that with Milan, with seller sessions.
But that's the only one option, maybe. Like there are some kind of not very visible.
In Europe? There are some Germans, I think, but way smaller.
Yeah, so the problem in Germany, events are big, sometimes 500 people. But the problem with Europe is that we all live in our culture, let's say, or within our borders. So there is a huge community in Romania, and I know they have events with 200, 300,
yeah.
And,
in Romanian.
Romanian. Ukrainians have a big event. Belarusians have a big event. But for example, in Poland, I think still they have some events. But yeah, you don't really know. Let's say you live in Serbia, and for you it's hard to know what's happening in France. But in like my idea, maybe because I traveled a lot and I saw a lot of countries, for me, borders don't exist. So I started to do these international events in Europe, which is much harder. For example, if there is kind of restrictions due to COVID and Corona in a few months, we cannot do Prague event because international people is our audience. But if it would be local Czech event, maybe it would be possible. And but I do hope that we will be able to unite through Orange Klik events in Europe with the time.
Yeah, until then, do you plan to do more online events like you did like 2 weeks ago?
No, it's at the moment we don't plan, but sometimes these things, also the one we did 2 weeks ago, came up like 1 week. I thought, okay, maybe let's do it, and we did it. It's just, I don't plan so far away virtual events because I'm just in my mind thinking about in-person events. It's more where I kind of express myself and I enjoy doing. Virtual event, I would say real event is even easier to organize. Maybe it sounds strange, but for me it's like, so let's say talking about actually what we could also talk, because I'm sure maybe some people who are industry experts and potential speakers, we can talk how events can boost their exposure. But let's say,
I can confirm.
In-person events, we have like, let's say maybe 15 or maximum 20 speakers, but in virtual event last time we had like almost 50 speakers. It's crazy. And then you have to record 50 interviews. It's too much. But with a live event, you just set up, selling tickets. The hardest part is maybe marketing, but with a time, maybe when people know about the event, it's a bit easier because there is a like natural organic advertising. People talk about it, but we still run Facebook advertising and try to talk in different other channels on other with other speakers in their audiences. But with the virtual event, it's a little bit also that Amazon space is full of webinars. Also before 2020, there were a lot of always webinars. So you have to now attract users or viewers' attention with like 50 webinars in 1 week. It's like too much. So
that would be too much. And also, like, all the online events are missing networking after the event. Like, it's like 50% of the full experience about the event is that networking that happens after the talk that lasts. Like, and like, I know for your events, I can tell you like what's the schedule like in advance for both Jana and me. Like we get there, and like on day one we wake up at 7 a.m., go to event at like to be there at like 8:30, and it lasts for like whole day, like all day, packed with information and everything until like 5-6 p.m. And then after that, there is like a dinner at the event or something like that, drinks or whatever. So you start to mingle and like talk to people that you didn't see. Like on day one, like you meet with all of the friends, and like on day two, you go with other guys. And like after that drinks, you go out to a bar or whatever, and you end up being there until like 2 or 3 a.m. And like you're again wake up at 7 a.m. and like 2 days in a row like that. So it like you need to be like physically prepared for your events. Like,
but let's say. Don't forget that you also get energy during this networking. Like probably very often people which participate in any kind of in-person events, they feel like still have energy, but when they come home, they're like soaked and they have no energy, just because you were getting energy through this communication and exchange, and it's very motivating and inspiring. Yeah. But when it's online event, I saw in the industry, of course, this year there are events for Amazon sellers online every month, 1 or 2, and some of them try to do this kind of networking. Of course, now there are hundreds of platforms suddenly with networking options and like virtual events network. But I don't know, for our communities, community is quite small. Like these events don't attract enough. If it would attract, let's say, 20,000 viewers, then this networking part, which is designed for networking, like a Zoom kind of calls, breakout rooms, it would make sense maybe because there is a big mass and there are probably will network only like 3%. So if you have 20,000 people, maybe 600 will join or 60, I don't know. So yeah, it would be, it's all about the numbers. So if you have an online event with 1 or 3,000 people, to the online networking will come maybe 100. But if it is like this talking, like a Zoom style, more than half will freak out and they will not be prepared because, they have a kid nearby or they are in a t-shirt or so, and they are not used to talk with strangers like this. So it's very difficult to attract people to this kind of...
Yeah, I can tell you for like this live stream that we're doing, like, to be honest, we didn't really have like a goal for it. We just wanted to share what's going on in the office, and like we're sharing the screen from the office like pretty much all the time, and like we always have like some small amount of people like that are watching. It's never like 100 people, but like when I checked it was like a couple of thousand unique viewers, and it's like, oh wow, this is kind of a lot of people watching this kind of stuff. And like I was checking like who was like doing it at 4 a.m. and I was like, that's a lot of people like watching other people working at 4 a.m. and I was like, oh, it's because it's like the other time zone in the US.
How many people you said they were watching?
I think it was 12 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, reality show. I don't know your
Yeah,
work.
like this, and it's
Yeah.
literally like Big Brother, you know.
Yeah. So they don't, probably your staff don't feel like very free. They cannot pick the nose and so on. So it's like can be a little bit.
You don't know my staff. They really don't care.
They don't
They
have
would-
noses. That's why
they don't have fingers. Oh, terrible.
In Serbia, all people. No.
Yeah. Like, wait, you have them?
Actually, I was so stupid that I was watching your workers working, and at some point at 2 a.m. they were not working. They were taking selfie. You can.
Yeah, I have like they
Terrible,
shared it
yeah.
on Instagram. They were posting all the time, and I was like, "So guys, how was the night?" And they're like, "So we had Luca dancing in front of the camera," and I'm like, "What?" They're like, and then Tamara was like dancing like a frog, and I'm like, "Okay, guys, so okay, can you be like more serious? Like everybody's watching." And like, well, they need to see that we're not just like clicking. Like, if this is the only thing that we're going to do during the whole night, it's going to be boring. Like, and I was like, okay. And they said like we were thinking maybe to pick a fight. And I'm like, no, you are not.
But I will give you a tip. Ask them to turn on the computers. It will look more realistic, because now really when they sit and just use the mouse clicks, but the screen's
What
black,
to
it
do?
doesn't look good.
To turn computers on?
Yeah, look, they're all black. You see.
Oh well, the thing is, like, we didn't want like any chance that somebody's going to see the
Private
screen.
data. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and also like it would mean that the guys are working. They're just like these guys are not even in my team. Like I hired a bunch of people from the street. I gave them like 10 euros, and they're sitting there for a whole night.
Yeah, good
That's
one.
the
You
whole
have
idea.
sponsors. Yeah, sponsors helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Sponsor gave me money. I rented people, and that's it. Like, imagine if there was no corona, I would place like 150 people there.
Yeah.
Like, you would think that I have a huge agency.
And sometimes I noticed that they were changing. Like sometimes there is a boy, like a man, sometimes a female sitting. So is it a different
That's
shift?
just a wig. That's just the wig.
Uh,
Yeah, and I'm like, this is the second day that I'm wearing the same T-shirt. Like, good thing about those streams is like that you cannot smell stuff.
yeah.
So yeah. Oh my God, this is like one terrible conversation.
That's why sometimes I mute myself during our, just like this, not to smell your T-shirt. All right,
Okay.
let's talk about impact for experts and sellers, speakers, and specialists who. Maybe we can talk how can they get on the events on virtual. Well, virtual events it's easy, like podcasts and so on, but like in-person events, maybe let's see what if it's worth to travel, and maybe very often speakers have to invest their own time and money to travel to the event to speak. Do you think it's worth for them? Like, what kind of exposure do you feel you get? Like, is it a credibility, or I don't know?
Like I remember, like I need to share like Jana's and my story with you. And like Jana just started her own business, translation agency, and I was thinking about starting my own agency at that point. And she reached out to you, and you answered, and she was like, this guy Augustas, he looks like a really big pain in the ass. And I'm like, really? No, I'm just kidding. And she was like, oh my God, I talked to a guy from like that. He's having something like webinar or conference. I cannot remember what was the thing. And like you called her to join one event or something like that in Prague, like first year in Prague. And she was so scared about talking at the event. And like, and she couldn't sleep. And like that presentation that she was giving, like, like it's something that you do for like 10 years and you studied about that like for ages, like not because she like needed like extra time to pass the years, but like she studied like 4 years at the university for that and everything. And like she worked so hard for it. And like for the first time you need like to prove it in front of somebody like that is not your client or anything, but like to become a seller, basically, like you're selling a pitch and so on. So she went on a stage and she was so scared, and when she finished, she was overwhelmed with people. Like everybody wanted to talk to her, and she came back so scared, and she was like, it's like everybody wanted to talk to me, and I was like, isn't that cool? And she was like, I'm freaking out. Like, yeah, and like more or less the same thing happened with me. Like that's even worse. I'm the numbers guy. Like I like to look at Excel, and that's it. Like, and like half of the people that I talk to, they're like, you don't feel like that you're really interested in talking to other people. And like I know that I should like present it, the agency and everything. Like that's really important for brand awareness. And like when you're a business owner or agency owner, like one of the biggest problems and issues that you're having is basically moving the like the main image of agency, like being you, to like Seller's Alley. Like, are you hiring Seller's Alley because of me, or because of the everybody in the team like that is working, those guys that I hired on the street to be like here for like 2 days, and like to be like absolutely sure that somebody's going to provide value there. And that's one of the biggest challenges. And at the beginning, like in both stages, like even if you're like one-man show or you have a lot of people in your team, it's always important to be part of the conference, you know, because like if you're good, there is always something that you can share with other people, and that's extra value, like providing more and more value, and like not sharing like desperate energy. Like everybody that comes to a conference for a first time, I'm pretty sure that they want to get clients, obviously, and like if they show desperate energy, they're going to like move clients away from them just because they show that they really need clients. Like obviously, like my agency wouldn't work if I didn't have clients. Like those paid actors would need to leave the office, you know, and all of that. So basically, it's important to like come to the conference, talk, share as much knowledge as possible, because that's the extra value that you provide to sellers that are coming to watch the conference. And like for both sellers and for speakers, it's good to network. Like I met so many sellers at your conference, and we never worked together. Like we just like exchanged like Facebook or like whatever, like phone numbers or WhatsApp. And we just communicate about random stuff. And like at some point, I know like that somebody is going to have somebody as a friend to recommend me as a service and that kind of stuff. So it's always like you're not always doing it because of like extra client and so on. It's always good to provide extra value. It's about like giving a better picture of yourself, you know. So like,
yeah,
it's worth to spend money as a speaker or as a seller to go to a conference 100%. And like that's definitely something that I would literally do it once a month. Last year we went to like I think all of your conferences that you had. Maybe you had one in Israel that we didn't like visit, and like that's it.
But yeah, good that you mentioned this thing that it's not only like content, what you give content and then you potentially get clients, but this is what I tell sometimes to sponsors which have doubt about, let's say, oh, it's maybe they think it's too small conference with a number of attendees. But I say it's not only about attendees and you getting clients, but you will network with other sponsors. And I saw myself how some, sponsors, they connect with other service providers who are just attendees, but then they cooperate and they do webinars together and so on. So it's a huge like networking which happening. And I would not probably expect instantly to get clients unless it's like review making business, or maybe Jana's translation business, which is more popular, maybe more on demand. But like if you're maybe PPC specialist, It's directly in the regular conference. Probably you will not get too many clients because it's big sellers already probably have their own specialists, and
Yeah, but it's always good to network. Definitely. Like, I always recommend people to go to conferences. Like, if you listened Brent and my talk yesterday, like, we were a bit desperate because we cannot come to any like live event, and like that's definitely one of the first things that we're going to do in the near future.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything happening in your home country in Serbia, like some meetups or something of
For Amazon? We don't have Amazon community, man. Like like there are huge sellers from Serbia, but they don't want to be recognized that they're here, and basically they have their own offices here or remote workers that work here. I know a couple of them that they're like really big guys and like one of the best in the niches where they sell in the US, but that's just like small amount of them, and Jelena Nuhanovic and Jana and me, we are service providers from Serbia, and like I think that there is no one else from Serbia that is service provider.
I had a feeling. Okay, Romania has a lot of service providers. Yeah.
Romania is absolutely crazy with everything when it comes to Amazon. Like Romanians have something in them to do e-commerce. They're really good with it. Like I'm always impressed with Romanians, like how they know a lot of stuff when it comes to e-commerce. It's not just Amazon. Like I met so many really good Facebook guys or like Klaviyo flow builders and that kind of stuff. So they're good at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we finally managed to get to like 30 minutes. I'm just kidding. 47 minutes. I think it's good enough so I can have a break before I start talking to Vince from Helium 10. We're going to talk about something super interesting. It's going to be about ads and PPC.
And can you tell what are these rewards? Like you are promoting here at the bottom, but I haven't heard you talk about that.
Oh, I didn't tell. That's the reason. Yeah, I think Cassandra mentioned Helium 10 is giving 5 diamond plans. So, like, guys that are watching, you can send an email to pdstream@sellersalley.com, and we're going to pick 5 people to get diamond plan on Helium 10. It's a pretty expensive reward, so that would be awesome. From our side, we are giving a lot of stuff when it comes to PPC management. So reach out. Who knows what you're going to get?
Okay, so it's like a lottery.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So what's your next big thing that you're going to do so people can like sign for it and join the community?
Yeah, the best probably is to go to Orange Klik website, spelled like this, and sign up for a newsletter, and there we communicate weekly what's happening. And if we make an event, so for now we are working on Prague event March 18-19. Actually, besides the main 2 days, we are planning with another German partner, Timo Bock, you might know.
I know him.
He is doing seller bar camps. I think maybe, I don't know. So basically, he's doing seller bar camps in Germany for German community. And we plan to do international one, seller bar camp, on March 17. So already planned that week, full week, to come to Prague. First arrive, then seller bar camp, then 2 days European Seller Conference, and then weekend to explore Prague. And seller bar camp is a little bit different format. There are no speakers, but during the first hour, I have never participated, but as far as I understand, during the first hour, there are pitches of possible talks. Participants, attendees vote for the best like topics and talks. And then all these, let's say 20 talks and topics are distributed in like several rooms across the day. And people can attend these topics, and they see a board where in which room, which topic. So sometimes it will be a presentation by a professional speaker, maybe or expert. Sometimes it will be someone who wants just to talk maybe about Amazon Sweden and to brainstorm something. So they go, 5 people go to another room, maybe 30 people are listening to Lazar, some kind of PPC tactics if your proposal is voted for. So it's interesting format. So we'll try it on March 17. It's in the plans. We do hope we will manage to implement this. Yeah, but let's see what happens. At the moment, Czech Republic is in a hard lockdown again. Nothing is open. So, but hopefully they will ease down.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right. So thank you, Lazar. And
thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for being able to talk at such short notice. And hopefully we're going to see each other at one of your events soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good